dear viewers.
Welcome to Four Stories. Paul, Dean and Liam. Now, we have a special film today, good Irish film.
We are going to talk about the Banshees of Inisherin.
We actually have a friend of the channel who was actually stunt double for Colin Farrell in it.
Yeah.
Philip Condon.
If you want to check
interview.
Yeah.
If you want to check out the interview, the link is in the description below.
He was the stunt double
For Colin
Farrell, and he actually said Colin Farrell was lovely to him.
Yeah.
He asked him, did he want a cup of tea? You know,
Did he need that? Did he want any biscuits or that?
Yeah.
He was meant to be. It looks like he had great fun on this film.
Yeah, I'm so happy they did. And we're just doing this review today because of the recent news involving Banshees winning various Golden Globes today, including Best Actor for Colin Farrell.
Or there, Colin Farrell, we love him.
We love you, man.
Love Phone Box.
That was the first film I ever watched him in.
Yeah. Love Phone Box. This film, it's on.
It's a strange film.
It's a strange film.
Yeah.
It feels like Martin McDonagh done plays.
He also did movies.
And movies, and it kind of mixes between the two. Look, we're on the island of Inisherin, right? And it kind of feels like a purgatory world where the world outside is coming on. So the backdrop of this is the Irish Civil War is happening. The IRA has split into the Irish what became the Irish government and the IRA, and that is kind of in the background. So we start off with our character Colin Farrell, who's a lovely fella but a bit dull in it, right? He's Pádraig Sullivan.
Pádraig ní Sullivan.
And then
Not Sullivan, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sullivan with the pronunciation. And his friend
Brendan Gleeson, who was playing Colin Doherty.
Yeah.
Yes.
Colin Doherty.
Now, these were the best of buddies. They used to go to the pub all the time and shows island life. And
then one day, Colin decides he doesn't want to be friends with Pádraig anymore.
Yes.
Because he's too dull. You're too dull, Pádraig. You're too dull. You can't be friends anymore. So it kind of kicks in with that, like, and there's not much of a plot really to the film. No, there's not a strong plot, you know. It's
The best kinds of movies.
Yeah, there's a dark humour to this. You're not meant to laugh at things, but it is showing stuff that was prevalent in Irish society.
And
the rate of alcoholism and stuff.
a hell of a lot of good Irish slang in it, you know.
Yeah.
And like, I found the whole start of it is hilarious. I thought it's brilliant, you know. Being an Irish person watching it, some of the slang in it, are you having a row? You know, so some little small kind of little Irish slangs like that, you kind of understand, but
I know people from Mayo and they talk like that.
it's brilliant. Now, I never heard Colin Farrell with an Irish accent like that before.
Yes.
So you've heard his voice before, you know he has an Irish accent.
Yeah.
But he done a real good, strong Irish accent.
Westmoreland accent.
And it's fantastic performance.
It's genius as well because, like, it's an accurate kind of portrayal of the way it's an accurate kind of portrayal of Irish people that you come to expect from McDonagh. And the witty writing of that movie is so genius, especially in regards to the dialogue. Like as you said, I'm going to tell you, every line of that movie is so good to the point where it nearly becomes quotable.
Yes. Oh, very much so.
We've mentioned Brendan Gleeson and Colin Farrell, but we can't forget about Barry Keoghan, the new uprising Irish actor here.
Yeah.
Barry Keoghan, he's done
Keoghan is with
He's done Eternals recently. He's done.
He was in Dunkirk. He was in The Killing of a Sacred Deer, which was my first film from him.
The Batman.
Yeah,
started out with Love Hate.
Yeah.
Remember what we were talking about to Jared Walsh about?
Yeah.
Irish actors coming out.
So
it was a great portrayal of that.
And he played a great little character called Dahid.
Yeah.
Dahid. He was a mad little. He's everyone knows a Dahid.
He's the Gambino of the island.
I don't care what anyone says. Everyone knows a Dahid in their area somewhere. Like he's one of them where he's everywhere.
And his behaviour is so wrong. You think, he's a horrible little whatever. But then you find the reason why his father his father is an absolute
Beaten.
bastard.
Absolute beat.
He's a pervert. He's
And
the island policeman.
Yeah,
you know.
he's the law of the island, and what he says goes. Like, you know what I mean? But the real kind of.
I mean, the two boys from the Dunbelievables were unbelievable, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. The two lads from the Dunbelievables reunited.
One of them was Pat Short, right?
Pat Short, yeah.
Yeah.
They were brilliant.
Yeah.
I might be wrong at that, but I thought it was them.
No, it is them.
Yeah, and
This movie has an all-star Irish cast.
Yeah, and it's fantastic. Siobhan, and then don't forget you had
Sister.
Jenny the pony.
Jenny the Donkey.
Yeah.
Jenny the donkey, yeah, great crack. But like with this film, you know, without giving too much away, as the lad said, Colin one day just decides, I'm not hot in the project anymore. He's dull. He's too dull. But it's like everyone knows everything. So everyone has found out. Are you having a row? That's it's a quote. Well, you having a row? So, but he gives him he's that annoyed and he doesn't want to talk to him that much because it's like he's just doing the same thing every day. He wants to make music, but gives him a little weird ultimatum like, if you don't stop talking to me, for every time you talk to me, I'm gonna get me shears I have at home and I'm gonna cut one of my fingers off and I'm gonna leave it at your door. That's the quote of it, right? And you're like, Jesus, he's mad, and everyone's like, he's not gonna do it. And they're like, but I've seen it in his eyes, and he's determined to do this now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's so dark to the point where I was kind of laughing towards the end, and we still have one shot I love. You know that shot where Park burns Colin's house down?
Yeah.
It was inside. You see the window of Park, and then it pans back to Colin just smoking as if he's chill. I'm sorry.
We start off and it becomes the talk of the town.
Yeah, everyone.
It becomes the talk of the island.
And it's one of these where everyone knows O'Riordan shop. Everyone goes to it. Mrs. O'Riordan finds out everything. Like Siobhan gets a letter. Yeah. It was already open. How is this already open? Is it a job offer from the library? Is it a job offer from the library? You're gonna take it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everyone knows everyone's business, you know. But it's a comedic kind of film.
Yes,
Yeah.
it kind of goes back to the plays we used to see the Playboy of the Western world.
Yeah.
The classics.
All the
Some
classics
people sometimes
of
sound
Irish
like
theatre.
they're being stupid, but are they being clever at times?
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
lines have that double-ended thing, and we have Colin Farrell's friendship with the donkey.
Yeah.
You think it's not going to work? It's brilliant.
It's a strange comedy. He gets a tour into one day. We go down for a pub, Jenny. Go down to the pub for a pint, Jenny. And then next thing you just see Colin walking to the to the pub, and then there's Jenny trotting along behind him. Right, I'm gonna take me point outside of Jenny outside, sitting outside the pub out in the seating area with his donkey Jenny sitting beside him. They're having a pint.
So good.
It's a total Irish kind of thing to do.
And even there's there's a version of Death, the widow. And she is everywhere.
She's weird.
Oh, look, she's like the Grim Reaper walking
Do you know
around.
what I have to laugh
There
about?
was like one line when Parry comes across that window. I forgot the line, but that line made me laugh.
This was it. No, that's the same scene I'm talking about, where he's in the garden and then she's popped up and she's talking about him, she's giving out about him. Then she goes, there's going to be 2 deaths here. And he's like, that's not very nice now.
Yeah. Now, Brendan Gleeson's, Colin's character's whole problem is
He wants to write music.
he wants to write music, and he feels his life is coming to an end, and and he cannot take the dullness, and it's a challenge to see. Now, Brendan Gleeson is a fantastic folk singer and player, and we see him with the fiddle, and he's brilliant in it. So when he's playing the fiddle, he starts taking off the finger.
Yeah.
He takes the 4th finger off to prove it.
He ends up cutting the finger out and throwing it at the door, like.
And poor Porrick, he can't understand. He has to go and see if he's okay.
Do you know what's funny?
And I love the bit where he goes, I think he's depressed.
Do you know what bit I thought was brilliant?
Yeah.
When he throws the finger at the door and he goes and grabs it, and Siobhan's like, who's at the door? Who was at the door? I don't know. Who was at the door? You're just on a... What's at the door? I don't know what you're talking about. She goes, it's a finger. He screams. She's like, where are you at? They're putting it here in the shoebox.
And there's one line of dialogue that actually emphasizes, that actually does emphasize Colin's character. It's basically in the pub when they're having a confrontation. I suppose nice this doesn't last, does it? No. No. But do you want to know something that does last? What? And then don't say something stupid like music lasts. It's kind of funny, but it's also... It really is kind of funny, but it's also indicative and represents so much.
Yeah.
You know?
And I thought Parik's sister, Siobhan, was brilliant at this.
Yeah.
Kerry Condon is brilliant.
Where the window was over, talking to Siobhan. And it's like, pure, will you not get out? Will you go to the pub? You're meant to be in the pub. I don't want to be in the pub. Get out. And that's the way Irish houses used to be back then. Get out. This is air the main. And then, of course, he goes, sure, you were always hiding behind the wall.
So true. What I love about it is the old Reardon shop. There's a scene where Patrick is in there and the guard turns up and he's talking about some news that someone had been killed and drowned and the man stabbed the woman 6 times.
She loved them stories.
Because she loves them. Oh no, that's news. And she's like, no, Patrick here hasn't got any news. Like, I do have news. Oh, what is it? This man over here beat his son last night with a kettle and bet him to a pub. End up having to turn up at my house. You wouldn't even sure, that's not news. Yeah, that is news, yeah. That's shite news. Oh, it's not. Yeah, but it's news. Oh, he's a bollocks anyway, that fella. And he walks outside and he gets slapped.
The thing that gets me about this is we all know someone like that. Not in the extreme form, but in some version of them.
Patrick or O'Riordan?
All of them. You're one from O'Riordan. I know people like her.
They're your proper like kind of council house people, like, you know. You don't need cameras in a council set. You have all the people in the windows. That's what you have.
And things it becomes interesting. We have this policeman and we find out that he's abusing his son. You know, and he's basically the island's idiot. And Colin Farrell. Colin's sitting beside the copper, who's a horrible man, and sitting beside him. And part of Colin Farrell walks up and starts giving him loads.
Yeah, giving him large, like. Yeah.
And actually, Colin starts to like him because he starts giving him loads.
Yeah, starts giving him stick.
You're saying you wouldn't sit here and that fella fiddling with this fella, his little lad.
And then Drata is at the back. I didn't tell him when you don't know, Daddy, I promise you.
The dialogue in this movie is so perfect.
It's in Irish.
It really deals with some of the issues that happened back then, and the ignoring of sexual abuse.
Yeah,
big time, and it addresses it, and
it's so good.
And then this starts off that it drives Patrick mad, doesn't it?
Yeah,
him not being there. And
He turns up to Colin's gap, he kicks the door in and sit down. I only came over here to kick your door in and sit down and slag you off. Oh, will you be doing that? No, I might kick your door some more and slag you some more.
But we see Colin actually likes him when he's giving them shit.
Yeah.
And then when he starts being nice, he goes.
And then what happens then? He turns up at his house and cuts the rest of his hand off. He cuts his fiddle hand. Cuts the whole fingers of his fiddle hand.
And we see him in the pub. And he's like that with the fiddle. Like he was lean.
It's so darkly humorous. Yeah. Like it kind of leads to... It definitely nails the perfect line between weirdness and darkness and just quirkiness, and it balances that scale perfectly. You know?
And look, this is a spoiler.
Poor Jenny.
We're talking Jenny.
Yeah.
Poor Jenny. Jenny gets
heartbroken.
She swallows one of Colin's fingers.
She swallows one of his fingers and she died.
And he's broken-hearted. His sister leaves.
Yeah, so he's left on his own.
He's left on his own. She's like saying, will you not leave the island? He's like, no, this is where I will. I look after the animals and the whole lot. And unfortunately, the young fella dies.
Yeah.
He dies. And we understand why he's gone. Yeah. You know what I mean? It feels like this kind of purgatory world. It's not full out hell, but it's some form of hell. And all the time, the guns from the Civil War and the cannons and stuff like that, and the machine guns are going off. They can hear it. Even up a Reardon shop, they go from the red to the green to say that now the Irish are, the Free State is now in charge. But Colin comes in with his own ultimatum into the pub. And I have to say, the visuals of this film are amazing.
Amazing.
The buildings are amazing. But he walks in and says, I'm going to burn your house down.
So good.
At 2 o'clock. If you're in it or not, and I'm not checking.
It really is emphasizing
And the
the
death
beauty
of
of
Jenny
Ireland.
just set him off.
Yeah.
You know?
What I loved about Jenny was when Colin sat on his chair, Jenny sitting there, Siobhan walks in. I hear, what's she doing in the house? She's lonely, I'm not leaving her outside. I'm not putting the pets outside and all this. But last week she only had shit going across in the house. That was straw.
What makes Jenny even better is that in real life, she was the most difficult actor to work with on set.
I heard that.
Yeah.
Never work with animals or children. But like, the widow was right, 2 deaths happened, and the 2 boys are there talking at the end. And Colin wants to make friends with Pardick. He says, I'm sorry about Jenny. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And poor old Pardick, he bored his house down, but he wouldn't do it to the dog. Because the dog done nothing. You know what I mean? And you see them talk and go back to the same conversation they used to have.
Yeah.
And he changes Pardick after this. That's the thing I like about him. It's like the Playboy of the Western world. The character is changed by the end. He then says, I don't think we can talk anymore after what's happened. He's lost his sister. He's lost Jenny. He's lost Jenny. He's lost his friend. And he's lost his other friend.
Yeah.
And it's a very strange film. It kind of brings me back to The Butcher Boy and all them good Irish films and all.
Yeah.
And there's all the actors are so well cast.
Perfect.
Believe me when I say that everyone in the entire cast is the best actor of that movie. Because if you were to pick one actor, it would kind of like, even then that'll devalue all of the amazing actors that will work on the film. Because they gave out 110% of their all in every performance. And it's really helped by the strong material that Martin McDonagh writes.
Yes.
Every character in that film is such a standout, and every performance is so fully realized. They are so committed to what they're playing.
Now, realistically, when I first started watching it, and I seen Barry Keoghan as the character he was, I was saying, he played him spot on, couldn't have got anyone better. But before I was obviously getting too into it with him, I was thinking to myself, right, they probably could have got someone younger to play that character, because the character himself was like, I thought could have been, if he's being beaten the way he is and the attitude of the child is Carry On, could have been a bit younger. But at the same
he was
time,
smart. He had brain problems.
That's what
problems.
I was saying. So I was thinking to myself, I was like, nah, let's give the man what he deserves, you know.
And he does some horrible things. Like he tries it on with Siobhan, and it's just not happening. Does it? He can't help being creepy.
Meet her up at the lake. And he says, I don't know if in the future you might ever in love with a man like me. Oh, died. And he just knew straight away, no, right, I'm going to go back over there and do whatever I was going to do over there.
Yeah.
So, kind of, I have to say,
great watch.
It was a great watch. Some people felt it was dragged out, but I understood why they kind of did that.
I love the Irish culture to it.
Yes.
If you're Irish,
dragged out.
If you're Irish, you can appreciate the movie.
You can appreciate it 100 times more, or when you watch the movie, and it's also kind of enjoyable for non-Irish viewers as well.
I'd watch it again.
Yeah. I would. I so want to watch it again.
Give us a rating there, Liam.
10 out of 10.
I'm going to give it a 12 out of 10.
You were giving it a 12.
You got a rating higher.
Yeah, you've done it earlier.
Deserves it, man. Deserves it. Yeah.
It does.
And I think I'll go with 10 because I do feel it's a film I'll watch again. Then I'll probably not watch it for another year or two.
But you'll watch it again and then watch it again.
Yes. I think it's one of them films that will be watched for many years.
This is a great year for cinema in Ireland between this and On Colin Keoghan.
Yes, I would agree.
And
Yeah.
Dublin Crust. There's an Irish film, Dublin Crust, coming out as well.
Yeah,
It's going to be a good watch.
There's some small independent films. Is that
Bad Black, yeah.
Yeah. And there's
If
some
you're
small-
watching this by any chance, trust me, we've watched their stuff and all your stuff, trust me.
So, I think we'll leave it at that.
We will.
If you could give us like, share, subscribe, 4 Stories Dublin, Instagram, Facebook, and we'd like to say sláinte to anybody who watches the video.
And Gura Mahagat.
And Gura Mahagat.
Slán.
Slán.